Graybeard Gaming. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Graybeard Gaming Podcast. I am your host, Scott. Han shot first. And as always, I have with me David and Liam. And we're going to talk about some gaming news and whatnot. It's our Halloween show. And, of course, I've been playing Batman, so hence the mask. So let's go ahead and get into this stuff. We've got some things that have happened this week, pretty low on the news. I mean, unless you want to start talking about Ubisoft, which I don't. They just seem to be stepping on rakes at, every 20 seconds. So it's kind of like saying, hey, there's weather outside. it's not news anymore. Yeah. But we could talk about a couple of things. But first, what have you guys been playing this week? Let's catch up a little bit.
Well, surprise, surprise, everyone's been playing COD. So.
What is that exactly? I think I've heard of that.
Yeah, it's a fishing game.
It's a small indie game, yeah.
COD.
Yeah, Black Ops 6 came out, so yeah. We're all going to play that. I've been enjoying the campaign, multiplayer and zombies.
Yeah. I guess we've all played some of it. But
yeah.
Liam, let's start with you because you're the zombie, I guess, pro at this.
First-person shooter expert.
Yeah. So what is your... is it a good zombies? Is it a bad zombies? Is it a...
I think it's a great zombies right now, to be honest. Yeah. Proper round base, so a lot of classic fans will like it. I know that you prefer like the DMZ sort of mode, but...
I did.
Yeah.
But...
anyone who sort of got brought up on the COD zombies like World at War, Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2. We all love those round-based maps. So I like the map so far, and it's people still can play because it's like Cold War-ish. I mean, it is a sequel to Cold War, so that is
right. Adler's in it.
Yeah.
Sunglasses.
With sunglasses. That's all he needs is sunglasses.
Yeah.
But no, I like it. I did an Easter egg with friends yesterday, so that was fun.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, does it have Easter eggs in it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Both maps do. One map is more casual than like a whole blown story, whatever. But it's fun anyway. And the other's like a proper story Easter egg with a big boss fight. They have to find a sort of Kraken monster at the end.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I guess
Nice.
that makes sense. You got spiders coming out of zombies. I mean, why not have a
why not
huge
have a
Kraken
crack
at the end?
Yeah, why not? So
Right. Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. It's Godzilla.
The spiders are absolutely terrifying. They scare the crap out of me, honestly.
Really?
Oh, really?
Well, there is an arachnophobia mode, I think.
Yeah, which is
Really?
which is really funny. There's an arachnophobia mode, and that kind of makes them actually scarier.
Well, how?
Because it makes it unsettling. Because now they're just chasing you with no body. They're just the heads, but it looks freaky.
They're just
So
like
it might
blobs.
Not like blobs, but just like you see them like whole model heads, and so I don't like that either.
That is creepier.
Might be creepier. Who knows? I'm not sure how they've actually made that. But
No, probably intentionally. It's like you don't like spiders. Just wait.
Yeah, probably.
Wait till you see this.
Right. Wait till they get a load of me.
Well played, sir.
Yeah, I'm gonna ham it up a little bit.
It's quite a hard mode, though, to be honest.
Yeah.
Really?
If you're not careful, because I don't think there's any sort of spawn points like before past COD games. Like before, you'd be like, oh, okay, they're opening through the window or this other door that's open. But now they can spawn from literally anywhere. So you think you're fine, and then all of a sudden there's like a crowd behind you, and I'm dead.
Yeah, I noticed that too. I'm like, I got this, and you turn around, it's like I am so dead.
I do like it though, because in these sort of maps, it's more alive, the world itself.
Yeah.
So what happens is, basically on the first map, the zombie outbreak is literally happening as they're breaking out the prison. So you actually see prison guards being eaten by zombies as you walk across. and like
Yeah.
zombies just appearing, popping out. So it actually feels like, wow, this is actually happening right now in real time. Not
Sweet.
just, oh, here's an old place, oh, zombies are coming here. So I find that really neat.
Yeah.
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 I always found that whenever I start a new zombie Call of Duty, really have to try to figure out the map because
Mhm.
there's like always a route that you got to take, and it's like because if you don't in the very beginning you don't follow this route because you don't know the map, so you end up boxing yourself in somewhere, and it's like shit, where do I go? I'm surrounded. Like what the hell?
Yeah.
So
the maps are huge as well. Like they're big
Oh,
maps.
okay.
They are big. I
Oh,
noticed
okay.
that too. I was able to, you know, you move a little bit fast. You have the same speed in zombies as you do in the multiplayer. You have the same moves. You can slide and strafe left and right and stuff like that. So I found that useful, especially in the larger areas, being able to just jump over cars and move around and just keep moving and maybe even funnel these guys into a corner and throw a grenade. Instead of having those corridors, of the previous games where you're just like, if you go down the wrong corridor, then you're done. There seems to always be a way out of some that situation, which I do appreciate.
You still have that. You still have the odd corridors, and like I don't want to go down there because I'll be cornered.
Well, the ones that I did, there's a door, and if I had the money, I open it. I guess if I didn't have the money, maybe. Maybe
so
that would have
you
been a
have to be
situation.
careful.
Right.
There's also upgrades you can get, like your perks, your field upgrades, and the ammo mods. You can upgrade them. I don't like the system really. Cause
Is there a pack-a-punch?
Oh yeah, there's a pack-a-punch. You can pack-a-punch 3 times. So.
Okay.
But you can upgrade your perks and other things there. I don't like the system they did because basically it makes you grind, which I mean fine, but you don't earn anything. It's just you have to keep looking at the progress of what you're looking at. If I wanted to upgrade Juggernog, I have to play a game and it might upgrade a little bit. Then I have to play another game and another game and another game, until it's fully upgraded. Then I can research something else in upgrades. So you can only do one at a time.
Oh.
I liked Cold War where you got like crystals and stuff, and you just like make your own choice. I want to upgrade that, and that. Now it's sort of forcing you to do something first because everything else is locked.
Ah.
I didn't like that much, but at the same time, it's not costing you anything. It's just game time. So.
And right now, there's only 2 maps, right? I only saw 2 maps.
Yeah, 2 maps.
Okay.
A third should be out at the end of the year if nothing's delayed.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah. It'll get better.
I didn't end up playing the zombie portion. I had, as I was saying before, I had a show this weekend, so I had a bunch of people over my house before the show, and they were all, oh, you have Call of Duty here, and I'm like, yeah, it's on cloud, just play it, and they were playing, PvP versus, so and we were all just kind of like passing the controller around, like, here, you try to get some kills, and then they pass it to me, and I was like dying the first second, and I was like, I just hear the controller. This fucking game's bullshit. Fuck this game. Like, I started getting fucking mad. Like, this is fucking bullshit. So.
When was the last time you played Call of Duty?
Oh my god. I can't even remember.
Yeah, that's why
it was zombies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the wife likes to play the Call of Duty zombies, so I'll let her know. I'll be like, yeah, I got a new zombie thing.
It's on Game Pass. Yeah.
Yeah. She'll be like, oh, let's do it.
That's a great thing too, because it's on Game Pass right now. Like all my friends list are playing Call of Duty, but you don't play Call. Why are you playing? Oh, Game Pass.
Yeah.
So it just opens up a whole new audience. It really does.
Well, I don't think, and I should probably say this for our audio listeners. I'm wearing a Batman mask, so. But playing the beta, I really wasn't excited about this. I don't think this would have been a purchase for me. And I probably, if you guys were like telling me it's great, it's good, get it, I would get it. But just on my own, I don't think it was something that I was going to purchase. Right, but it being on Game Pass, I'm like, okay, download it, play it. It's like, wow, this is actually really good. The multiplayer is good. It's good.
Yeah.
So.
Right.
And Liam, I know you played you played more of the campaign than I did. and if anybody cares about the campaign. What's your impression of the campaign so far?
I like the campaign for the most part. Although you get to a mission where it's just an open map sort of thing, you just have to all these objectives to progress the actual mission. So it's kind of like, oh yeah, we'll help you do this, but you have to do this first for us.
Side quests.
Yeah, it's a bit of a side quest, and then you have to do a bunch of other side quests. It's like, that's not a mission. That's literally open world RPG nonsense.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Hey,
that's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, is it fun though? I mean, it's does it break up the mission to mission kind of,
I mean,
or does it
like,
take away from it?
I like just.
You like it to be
missions.
linear?
Yeah, I would like it to be linear. I know. Yeah, that's what I thought with the campaign. So
yeah.
I mean, it's not too bad. It's not like every mission, but I don't know the rest of the campaign.
So if it's basically more open world RPG, and let's say you're walking to do a side quest, or you're walking to talk to somebody, do you run into shit? Like, is there like bad guys in the jungle or something that you like run into, or is it?
Yeah, it's like open sort of desert area. Basically, there's bad guys everywhere because it's just a bunch of points. You have to rescue everyone. Really, that's what it is.
Okay, so that's pretty cool.
So it turns into like a Ghost Recon game.
Yeah.
And just like
yeah,
get all these points of interest, and you just keep going.
Yeah.
I thought it was broken at one point because I cleared all the enemies, and the objective wouldn't go away. I thought, please don't tell me it's broken. So I was just wandering around this area for a long time, going in circles, looking under every sort of rock, like, where's the enemy? Where is he? Come on. It turned out he was on the roof, but he wasn't sort of alerted to my presence because he's on the roof.
So he was just standing there.
So he was just there, like chilling.
He's smoking a cigarette up there.
Like, I don't know why I can't get anybody on the radio. That's so weird.
He's like up there like, wow,
Right.
these soldiers, they don't listen to me. I don't know how I could get them to listen to me. Just, oh, shit.
Eventually, like, one of my AI teammates actually spot him and start shooting. I thought, what's he shooting at? And I just see a little head at the top. Oh, there he is.
Oh, man. Yeah, it's like when they're on the like radar and you're like, I'm standing right here. Where is he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez. Isn't it funny though? I do the same thing. It's like if something's like you go to an objective and it's like I did it and I guess it's broken. Like your first like instinct is like the game's broken.
Yeah.
And it's 90% not broken. Like it's 90% you're not paying attention or but when you get that in your, it's like, oh shit, it's broken. Then I just like shut down. I'm like, oh okay, well I guess it's broken.
Well,
Not thinking
in other matches the game did break, so that's the first thing you think of.
Well, yeah, I mean,
like I played a zombie game with a friend and we broke it. We literally broke it. So
how?
We did an Easter egg step that should have come sort of later. So we did something out of order.
Oh, okay.
And it's a special sort of guy that spawns, but the game freaked out because we were sort of doing too much, and it couldn't spawn him.
We literally
had error text coming up on the screen saying error can't spawn. Like, we couldn't do anything. So the map was just empty, and we just had to quit because nothing would happen. No one was spawned. No zombies. Nothing.
I mean, there's only 2,200 people that work on this game. I mean, you got to give them a little bit of break. It's a small studio. Yeah.
I think it's kind of funny how poor game design is sort of indistinguishable from a glitch. It's like
right.
Sometimes you can't tell the difference. Like, is this poor game design or am I supposed to go through the floor?
Exactly right. Like, oh no.
True as well. Yeah.
That always makes me think of what was that game? Eternal Darkness or the GameCube game.
Dungeons of Eternity.
Silicon Knights. God, what is the name of the game? It's the one where it's like it tells you that like your game is corrupted. like it messes with your like
wait,
the
I
whole.
think,
It was
yeah.
about like descending into madness, and it would like mess. Like it would go like the colors would mess up. Like it would go click click click, and it's like, oh my god, all the colors are. My TV's messed up. You know, it would just repeatedly do these things. You know, in the game. To the player, not you as the player, but to you, like, you know, saying, "Hey, your game save is corrupt. You're gonna have to, you know, you lost everything." You know, I'm like, "Holy shit, man, that is so cool to, you know." But yeah, now it's just this, just really, you're just a bug. You just corrupted all your shit and it's broken.
Yeah,
They're not being clever. They're just being.
Yeah, I think Activision and Ubisoft should make a game where it does that, and no one would know whether they're being truthful or not.
Right.
It'd be the ultimate secret bug. Like, is it? I don't know.
No, not this. No, not now. It's, no, I don't think that would go over well. That would be too close to it. But
yeah, in general, I'm having a lot of fun with COD though. Yeah.
Yeah,
I like
multiplayer.
Nice.
Like in the multiplayer.
Yeah,
and we played a couple of matches. And we played some custom.
Yeah.
I always try to get people to play like custom matches. Like there's nothing better than like getting your friends together and in a map and just shooting each other. It's like you know, there's just nothing more fun.
That's like classic multiplayer. That is.
Yeah.
Just getting friends around and like doing a map. Yeah.
When we played Destiny 2 a lot, I always try to get people to play custom, and they're like, and their argument was like, yes, it is super fun. However, I don't progress.
Yeah,
so it doesn't give me anything. I'm like,
doesn't get. Yeah.
How about hours of fun?
Yeah. Gives you fun and bonding. And,
right.
Never mind.
And I get to snipe you.
I always wish that Apex had something like that, and for years they didn't have
Custom
like a mode
game.
like that,
Yeah.
custom games. And then they came out with custom games, and we're like, oh my god, we're finally gonna get custom games. And then it was like, no, it's not as simple as like, you know, making custom game. You have to get 30 people. You have to find 30 people.
Yeah.
Find 30 people for it. Like,
It's like, what the hell? I can't just do 10. You know, and
just goof around on a map. I mean,
just mess around on a map. You know, like I need the practice. You know, so it's like
you know what they did as well in Apex. Just thinking, because before they had the arenas. I don't know if you remember the arenas. Where there's like 3 teams, I think it was.
Yeah.
And they got rid of that. I thought that would be perfect as customs.
Yeah,
it
Those kind of maps.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you could get that many people together. I mean, that's a raid. You know.
So but they couldn't. But they scrapped that anyway. But anyway.
Well, you know what game's really good at that? Halo.
Halo.
Yeah. I mean, seriously, because you can go in, and even the first one, you can go in and go pistols only, no shields, you know, no power up. You know, you could just customize the whole thing and go in there and do that. Probably stems from not having any online play whatsoever, but still.
But they had more creativity with it. Even now, like custom games, bring that back.
Yeah, and even the custom game in Call it in Black Ops 6, setting that up, it gave you some options, but like we just wanted to do pistols only, and it didn't give us that option.
No, so you have to actually, if you want to do it, you have to do it sort of manually, like
I promise.
My loadout.
To use pistols. my 12 gauge pistol. Yeah.
That's a pistol. That's a pistol.
Right.
Warthogs only.
Right. Right. Exactly.
Kill me only on the turret.
Right. But yeah, it's fun stuff when you can do that, and I wish more games would kind of care to that. But but Dave, you didn't play. That's all the multiplayer you played. Did you play any of the campaign or?
Nah, we literally
busy weekend.
I was literally I had like like 4 or 5 friends on the couch. And I went to go do something. When I came back, they had Call of Duty on. Yeah. And we were just passing the controller around. I mean, this week I did play a little bit of Conan, which I got really, I really got like deep into it. Not deep into it, but I got addicted. Okay. Yeah. I played for a couple of hours, and I mean something that I didn't, or I guess I didn't anticipate was it looks different. It looks like better. I don't know if it's because I haven't played it in a while, or they actually did some kind of like update graphically.
Yeah, check the log files.
Yeah, I mean, because I was too busy looking at the things they added. I
Yeah.
didn't really bother to see if any of that's been changed. But because even I remember I loaded up an old game and it was a game that I had like added God mode and I was like crafting whatever kind of armor and when I started my character up, she had some weird looking armor and I was like, this looks cool. Like this armor looks. I don't remember this armor looking this good.
Yeah.
So did they change something graphically? And yeah, just I had a lot of fun on that for a little while, and then like I said, this weekend it was Call of Duty time. So,
Yeah.
um, but yeah, and then No Man's Sky came out with an update.
Wow, still updating. Wow.
But you know what? I really do want to play this No Man's Sky one because they came out with a ship that looks like the Millennium Falcon.
Oh, really?
And yeah, you have to do like a quest line, and then at the end you get. I actually personally think it looks more closer to like the ship in the movie The Thing. Like in the movie The Thing, he was like there was the creature
Oh,
was like
the
building,
one, yeah, in the ice.
it was
Yeah.
building a ship in the ice, and it's very flying saucer esque.
Yeah.
But I guess what makes it very Millennium Falcon is it has like a piece on the side, sort of
Yeah.
like the Millennium Falcon did. But it's cool. Everybody's like into it, and I think you get a new like skin for your face too. Like that's so I got to get back into that one as well. But I've just been so
Yeah,
busy.
man, they're
But
just a content factory, aren't they?
they are.
Yeah.
They really
Holy
are.
shit, man, that's amazing. I wish I
Yeah.
liked that game more. I really do. I'm just every time I try to play it, I'm just like, this is
Play it in
amazing.
VR.
I did.
Play it in VR.
It's,
Oh, you did?
yeah, I mean, but it's still the same game, But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I try to get into it. But yeah,
Tell us about Batman.
well, let me.
Batman.
I'll tell you. Call of Duty, and then yeah, we'll talk about some Man of the Bat. But
Oh, you did play it.
yeah,
Oh, nice.
I played a lot. I played PvP a lot yesterday. I played a little bit of the campaign. I played the campaign up into. There's a mission where you basically try to take a picture of a senator.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm gonna do it. I'll play the campaign because I always play the campaign. But that's where I was like, nah, I'm gonna go back to PvP. I'm go back to shoot people. So, but as usual, I mean the game looks good. And I was telling my friends, last night I was having some trouble with Xbox Party on PC, and I think they were having some issues last night. I mean, it's on Game Pass. Servers are like at their probably top capacity on Call of Duty, and so I'm like, okay, I'm just going to switch over to Xbox. So I went over to Xbox, and I'm playing this brand new Black Ops 6 on the Xbox Series S, and there is a fidelity like slider. You can make the AMD fidelity, the FSR
Yeah.
basically, and you can sharpen it like to 100. So I did that, kind of messed around with that, and I'm playing it, and I'm like these devs are like, well, we're trying really hard to the Xbox Series S is really hard to get a solid 30 and this and this and this, and Call of Duty's over here like, hold my fucking beer. And it looks fantastic. It's 60 frames per second. The campaign, all of it's 60 frames per second. It looks amazing. I mean, I can tell the difference, obviously, between playing it on PC and playing it on Xbox Series S. But if I were playing, if I was playing that for several hours on the S, I wouldn't notice it. I would forget what it looked like on the PC. So if anybody has reservations that has an S, don't. It looks great. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just amazing to me that like some studios are like, wah, and then these guys are like, what's the big deal? Watch this shit.
Yeah.
I think a lot of publishers, I don't want to say developers, but publishers are sort of lazy. I mean, we've seen this so many times with broken games, unfinished games.
Well, they want to cut
games as
corners to
service,
make more money. Yeah.
And they sort of make shortcuts. No, if you take the time to optimize for each piece of hardware, they can run.
What happened? He froze. Mr. Freeze got him.
He's AI.
End of line.
We lost him.
Oh, we'll wait till he catches up. Anyway, yeah, I know what he's saying though. It's
yes.
I don't think developers are lazy. I think they just do cut corners to to. Oh, there.
You know what?
Are you
Yeah,
back?
he's back.
Yeah, you froze for a second.
Well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like,
It was his signal was traveling all the way from the UK.
right.
So.
Yeah. It's
A shark like grabbed a line and was like, what is this? Never mind.
Some guy on Discord was like, the developers are lazy, huh?
yeah, come on.
Right.
No, you know what? I always think of when I hear something like that, I always think of Dead Space, because I remember watching an interview with the guy that developed Dead Space, and I don't know if you remember when the arm used to. Yeah, the arm used to come out and grab your character and pull it, and you would have to like shoot the thing.
Yeah.
And it was like it's like a moment of cinematic while simultaneously playing the game. Right. And I remember he was interviewed and he was like, we didn't know how to do that. We just didn't know how to do it. So like we would try this or try that, and then it was a lot of like trial and error until they got to this point where it is now. And I find that fascinating, because that's the whole point of like innovation and creativity is to like think of something you want to do in the game, and even though you don't know how to do it, and it's like, oh, we're really trying hard to get it to 60 frames per second, and it's like, you obviously don't know how to do it. Just keep trying and keep hacking at it, and you'll eventually do it. Don't like abandon the idea. Don't abandon trying to get it, to that point, because you'll find it, and then it'll be amazing.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you have to make it work. I think a lot of developers will show stuff for the publisher. They'll say, hey, this is what it's going to be like. And then they're like, great, make a movie out of it, and we'll put it at E3. And we're like, okay. And then it's like, we kind of hit that bar a little high. We're not going to be able to do that. So we get a lot of promising, like over-promising and under-delivering. And even, we all know the conference that Bungie did at GDC. It's like, what you do is something to the effect of you under-promise and under-deliver, and everything's cool. It's like, God dang, you jerk.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's but Call of Duty in general, the Black Ops 6. I'm more of the Modern Warfare fan. I don't like the conspiracy like goofy stuff that they do. Where Kennedy's like, you got to go on that. I think it's just kind of silly. But this one so far is better. The setting's better. It is in the 90s. So it is still kind of in that modern, slot. It is in a war that I lived through. I've got friends that were in that war. This war is war. Their stories are just as horrific as any World War II or Vietnam story you'll hear. So it does kind of land with probably a lot of people my age and a little older. But yeah, I'm enjoying the PvP. The movement that they had in the beta, I had issues with. I didn't think it added anything to the game, but I think that this release, it's tighter and it's a little. I think they just toned it back a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't see people like flying and jumping, like
No.
jumping and landing on, like doing this like fish moves and stuff. I don't see that now because you can't do it the same way.
Yeah, fish.
Right. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like they jump and land on their belly, and then they get up and they jump and land on, and you're like, dude, bap, bap. I mean, I could just shoot you on the ground. I don't know what you're doing, doing the worm or something. But so it makes it feel a little bit more grounded and a little bit better in Call of Duty. And the speed is a little less. I think they've scaled back a little bit.
I think it's manageable now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. So I'm having a lot of fun with it.
I still try to dive when like someone's around the corner, like, haha, I got you. And I end up dying 90% of the time, but sometimes I get them.
Yeah, and I forgot somebody can come up behind you and grab you like around
Yeah,
the neck.
yeah.
and-
Oh, yeah. People can hostage you. Like,
Self-kill?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. They use you as a body shield. Like they'll grab you behind the back and like, bap,
Yeah.
bap, bap, bap. And you're like,
Yeah.
I'm just hanging out, just just maybe
Just
shoot
hanging
this
out.
guy and not hit me. That would be great.
There's a guy on your left. You're like, there's a guy on your left. There's a guy on your left.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Come on, man. You should have
Like
seen him.
I'll help you out. Just let me go. But
I still have like some issues when it comes to skill-based matchmaking. Like you can actually destroyed one match, and then the next match everybody can't aim.
Well, yeah,
shoot
they want you to keep playing, so they keep that. When you start losing, they put you in like the waiting pool, at the kids table, and then you're back up to
Yeah.
So it's I don't know. I really wish they would just have a server that didn't have that.
Yeah.
Maybe even just a test server, just like, hey, we're going to turn this off and see what happens, and watch it get flooded.
Yeah.
And all the other servers are like, no, we're not playing that crap. But
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
I mean, I always hated that. Apex did that too. Like they would put you in a bunch of shitty games and then put you in one good one.
Right.
And I'm always like, with all the data they have on my play history, with all like, I mean, I am like mined to the teeth as far as like data. Like you could just going into your Xbox profile, you can just see how many hours you have in any particular game.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm always like, people are always like, oh, how are they supposed to fix that? And I'm like, they have all the information. They know who should go with who.
Oh, they have everything.
Yeah, they know that I would be a good pair with this person or that person or this person. I have like, 20 hours in the game, and this person has 20 hours in the game, and you just put everybody that has 20 hours in the game, and whoever has the most kills from there, put them in another subcategory. It's like, it's not that hard. But they just do it this way because they would just want you to keep playing.
They know when you quit. Like they know like how many losses does it take for this guy to quit? And it's like,
right,
it's almost there.
Yeah,
but give him a win.
Yeah,
steam coming out of my ears.
Yeah,
can't take it.
Especially with stuff like Apex. Oh my god, I'm.
Oh my god.
I just that was one of the few BRs that if I won, like if I was the one that like got the last shot, I was like, I can die happy. I mean, it just I felt like I beat the game. I can move on now. I
used to jump up and scream. I used to be like,
I don't
like
have to
that.
get those wins. Well, playing something like Call of Duty, I mean, if I'm like, it's more about, did we win? Yes. How many kills did I get? Okay, I'm happy with that. Next match,
Right.
It's still fun. I learned a long time ago that like playing Call of Duty is like you can't get mad at losing. I play with people who's like the whole time they're just like, I'm like, you go play another game. Like why? Why do you let this
go touch grass?
Yeah, go. This is making you like hateful of the universe.
Yeah, because I wasn't like I wouldn't say I'm a great PvP player. I mean I could do okay. Hold my own. But other people can actually floor me, so that's why I like zombies as well. Why I prefer that because I can just do it my own pace.
And it's a good breathe from maybe getting just shot in the face every 30 seconds.
Some of the spawns are completely broken as well. We know that.
Yeah, we do know that.
Spawns are broken.
It's like, I died by that guy, and now I spawned right in front of that guy. Oh, look, he shot me again.
Yeah. That happens in multiplayer quite a bit.
I think there's some people from EA that went to work for Activision apparently. That worked for Battlefield.
I literally died 3 times in this guy's path because I just spawned away from him.
Yep.
Like he would kill me at one part. I would spawn. He would come up to me again.
Yeah. The map that's got the train on it. I stopped going anywhere. I'm like, I shoot somebody and I'm just there he is. Bap! I mean, they were just you could just like fish for kills in one spot.
You know what? It's funny because when I came into that room when all my friends were playing, and I was like, oh, let me get the controller, and he's like, and I got a game, I noticed on the top, like I was in a chat, and I pressed the button, and I was I was in a chat. I'm like, hey, why am I in this chat right now, guys? And like, I don't know. You just got like an invite, and so we joined it. I'm like, what? You just join it? You know, who is this guy?
What?
And yeah, he's been in there for a while. I'm like, this guy's probably been cursing at us this whole time, and we don't have a mic or anything. This guy's
Yeah.
probably like, you terrible player. You
Yeah.
have only 2 kills.
Yeah.
Like, why would you join that? And
Yeah.
out of all games, Call of Duty, would you think
Right.
somebody wanted to? You know what? I want to train you. I think we should play
Yeah.
together. Like, no, this guy is cursing me out. He's throwing the book at me.
Yeah.
And you don't have a headset on, so you don't know, and his
Right.
volume's low. Why would you join? Like,
Yeah,
what's happening here?
They maybe just lonely, man. I don't know. Maybe just lonely.
Yeah, just lonely.
I do
someone
like
to talk
I do like
to.
with multiplayer, like as well with the sort of hostage thing you can do. I see plenty of videos where people just trolling each other in voice chat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's like you grab someone and you're like, you're coming with me now. So we're having a lot of fun with that.
I'm your new dad.
So there's a lot of fun to be had there. It's quite a fun mechanic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool.
Cool.
Well, we'll probably talk. As Call of Duty evolves, we'll probably talk about it more. But I did play the new VR game. Obviously, Batman: Arkham Shadow.
Oh, I never knew that. I never would have guessed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it. Okay, so it's I didn't buy it when it came out. I'm finding with VR titles, you want to wait till it comes out and see what the reception is, and the reception is really good, and it is deserved. It is a good game, but it is buggy. Like right now, it is buggy, and it to a point of I couldn't finish certain missions. I had to like reload the checkpoint several times. So there was one mission where you have to. These cops are tied up on a stage. Like they're sitting on the floor, and then they're tied with their chest, So like, hey, Batman, come and untie us. So you walk up there, and one of them falls through the floor, so his torso is like in the floor, and then the rope that is around them actually falls with him.
Oh,
So it breaks the cutting mechanic. So I'm like going, this is not doing anything. I'm like, God dang. So I reload. Go back in, and then I go and it works. Just stuff like that.
Yeah.
But as far as the game, it feels like an Arkham game.
Yeah.
So you have like you have your grappling gun, which you can't use everywhere, unfortunately. Not like in an Arkham game, only in certain spots. But you do have things where like rooms that you can throw down a smoke bomb. Go up on a ledge, wait for these guys to get behind you. You can actually like slide down and grab them, and then pull them up and tie them, so they're dangling. And then you can do the glide kick. You can do pretty much everything you're doing in an Arkham game. They did a really good job of making it feel like you are that Batman from the Arkham games. And the combat is fun. It is really fun, but it is it's almost like a QTE punching mechanism, which I'm hoping that maybe later they'll just give you free reign. So you're not like actually like fighting. You're not fighting like you would box. It gives you cues of where to punch and how to punch. So it's kind of a game in itself. So you punch a guy.
Okay.
It gives you like a circle, so you punch. It gives you an arrow, so you uppercut in that way, and then it'll give you a point of like a number, and you just bap 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 bap, and your number's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But it does it really well. Yeah, and you get like on the side of your screen. Yeah, exactly. On the side of your screen, you get like an icon, and you can just like punch because somebody is you're countering somebody coming after you with a stick or something, and then when you counter them, you're in front of them, and then you can attack them and stuff. So yeah, it's done very well. I did the tutorial and had to take a break, and then get back in the game. It's very
and then throw up.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm good. But and then there's like detective work and stuff where you use your detective vision, and everything's there, man. They do a good job. And I will say, this is I think the first game I've played that is for the MetaQuest 3 only, meaning they didn't have to develop for the MetaQuest 2. And it looks good. It really does look good. It looks like, I don't want to say on par with PC VR, obviously, but it's a definite upgrade. The textures are better. The animations are better. People look like actual people, and they're not just like, Batman, help me out, So I'm having some fun with it. It's a lot of puzzle stuff and a lot of Batman stuff. But you're Batman. I mean, you see your arms, and then when you first come into the game, you're standing in front of a window and you see your shadow on the ground of the ears and everything.
Oh, the Batman.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So it's like, and you look down, you're like, yeah, and you can use your cape to like swing it at somebody, and it goes, and then they get stunned. And then you can glide with it, and so it's all there, man. It really is. It's just, I think that it's a couple of patches away from being a really good VR title. But right now, it's difficult to play because, like Liam said, when something happens, I'm like, okay, did it break or am I doing something wrong? And that kind of breaks your immersion as far as playing any
So
game.
you can't buy it on Steam and Steam cast it to the Oculus 2?
No, it is a MetaQuest 3 exclusive. I know, our exclusives suck. But
Except for Halo.
Except for
when Halo came out, everybody wanted to buy Xbox.
I gotta get that box. But yeah, it's only a MetaQuest 3. There's some other titles. I'm really excited about Metro Awakening, which is not exclusive, and Alien Rogue Incursion, I think is what it's called. Also not. It is. Those two are made for the MetaQuest 3 only, and not the 2. But they're not exclusive. They're going to be on PSVR 2 and PC VR. So.
Yeah. Now, if Rocksteady would actually make a new Arkham game instead of.
Well, apparently they are going back to making a Batman game. Funny you should say that, because they've already said it's like, sorry, we're going to go back to. It's either that or Warner Brothers has told us that we're going to be working on the unemployment line.
Yeah, because the story was okay in Suicide Squad, I find, but
Really?
It's what's the other game? Oh yeah, Anthem. Because I enjoy the story in Anthem too. But afterwards, this is like there's no point to this at all. And Suicide Squad, I feel the same thing. Like the initial story was really good. I liked it.
Really?
Afterwards, it was just.
For Anthem?
Yeah, for Anthem and Suicide Squad. I mean, I can't remember much of Anthem now, but I got into the story of Anthem. I was kind of like enjoying the interactions. And then it was over. I was like, oh, that was it. Okay.
I actually
incomplete.
I actually liked a lot of Anthem. The combat, I loved flying. I did like the story. I just felt like it was janky at times with the cinematics, and it really had no content. It had nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was go here, shoot these, turn that off. Go here, shoot these things, turn it off. Yeah.
Yeah, Suicide Squad ran into the same problem as well. Like, eventually, you're just like, I'm doing the same 3 missions over and over again.
Right.
That's the content. So, that's what live service is missing. And like, wait for a year. It's like, no.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can still play Anthem, by the way. It is still, they still have it up and running, and probably will for a while. But yeah, I'm kind of with you on that.
I'm surprised it's not dead, to be honest.
Well, I mean, it's not a dead game as far as you can still play it, but there's no content or anything. They did, they were going to do this Anthem 2.0, and then eventually canceled it. And it came out that they had assigned 2 people to work on it. 2 people. Hey, go fix this AAA game that we spent, $200 million on. See what you can do with it.
And they're in like some they're in the stock room. Like,
right? Yeah, exactly. They're like,
and they're like, "Where's my stapler?"
Right, they'll beat me to it. Like, where's my red stapler? But that's probably what it was. It's like, who's that guy over by the water fountain I don't like? Yeah, put him on it.
Yeah. You're actually being transferred to downstairs.
Right.
Downstairs is the stock room.
Yeah, work in the basement.
Right.
Hopefully less of these live service failures and more just story content that we like them.
How do you feel about the boiler room? It's it's one of those games that had potential. Suicide Squad, I have to disagree with you on that. I don't think that. I think that is the opposite of the game that we really need right now, is to see our heroes corrupted and shot and killed. That to me is no. Sorry.
Yeah.
Just,
I mean,
no.
obviously, that's going to go well with some people and not well with others. But the idea was that wasn't the end of them.
No, right. It was going to be some weird, thing at the end where it's all a dream.
Not a dream. I think they were like duplicates or something of the heroes, not actual heroes.
Right.
But they probably can't make enough content to actually make that happen now. So in terms of canon, they're probably dead.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna make something and then on the back end of it go, oh, this was all a dream. I mean, no, I mean, come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on, give me a break. Anyway, that's just they obviously failed on that since they're making a new Batman game. But speaking of failures, I guess Netflix has shut down their only AAA game studio, which was nicknamed Blue Team. And Netflix has put out some games. They put out some mobile games, but this is their studio that I think they, this was the one that they handpicked people to make this AAA new IP. Even Joe Staten of Halo and Bungie fame went to work for them.
Yeah, I was gonna say they had some big guys on that.
Yeah,
right?
and so that studio has been shut down. Development on it has closed.
Yeah.
And go ahead. What?
Now can Netflix and Google and people who don't game stay out of gaming, please?
Well,
that'd be nice.
And they may be smart enough to know that. I think maybe they're figuring that out. It's like, hey, we're making money with these little mobile games, and I think that's where we want to make money. When they see, I mean, what happened right before this? Ubisoft, but it's like imploding right now because of these AAA games that they put all this money into and have to make. Have to sell like 10 to 12 million copies just to break even. Maybe these guys were looking at it and going, we can't put this together and spend this money on it and put out a new IP. If it fails, then that might.
Yeah.
We're not a game company,
Yeah.
So I don't think we really know what kind of game this was going to be. But they did hire a former Overwatch executive, some people from Halo, people God of War. So it's hard to see. It's hard to tell, what it was going to be. We'll find out. Somebody will talk and say what it was about, and it'll probably sound like the same thing that.
Yeah, it would have been called God of Overwatch. Combat Evolved.
Yeah. I mean, we'll probably find out that it was probably going to be some, narrative-driven live service game, and they decided to cancel it. And to be perfectly honest, right now in the AAA gaming industry, that's probably not a bad thing for them.
Yeah.
They might be smarter than some of these other people. So I did find out that Joe Staten left before this. He seems to be jumping ship.
Yeah.
Whatever. Maybe it's his fault.
Yeah. When people jump ship, that's never a good sign. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Microsoft did this with the what's the studio they made to make Perfect Dark?
Initiative.
Initiative. Thanks. I always forget their name. They got those, big AAA studio people to all work together, and all of them hated each other. And and David probably knows this. It's like, hey, take your favorite guitar player, your favorite singer, your favorite bass player, your favorite drummer, make a band. Man, they'll kill each other. It doesn't mean that they work together. It
won't last.
No.
That's gonna be a lot of coke.
Yeah.
Right.
It's the same in everything, even like sports. You can't just take the best players.
Yeah, you can't take your favorite people and make a team. That's not how things work. They need to grow, a little more organically and and they're, maybe these studios are figuring that out. But anyway.
Well, I mean, if there was ever going to be a corporation that was gonna try to put their toe in the pool of gaming. Google obviously comes to mind. Netflix, obviously, probably another person that would maybe try to do it. I mean, I'm just waiting for Elon Musk to be like, we're coming out with a gaming studio, and
Yeah, I think a
I
lot
know.
of them are like, I can do better than that,
Yeah,
without
yeah.
knowing. There was the infamous what was the baseball player that made the studio that created Kingdoms of Amalur. God, what was his name? Anyway, it's a baseball player. Loved video games. So when he retired, he made a studio. It was like Big Game Studio or something like that. This is off the cuff, so I didn't research any of this. So they made Kingdoms of Amalur, which was a single player game, but it's also going to be an MMO and all this. Anyway, he did it just kind of backwards. He started getting all these investors and getting all this stuff together and made this giant game. And I think the state of Maryland that he borrowed some money from, like, defaulted on him, or was like, they're not a company. They were like, oh, well, it's this date. Where's our money? And he said, I don't have it yet. And then they went to court, and it tanked everything, and it just imploded. And so, it's like, hey, if you want to make a game, just maybe make a small studio and start from there. I don't know. It's just me. If you go too big, you might lose it all.
A lot of people with money as well just think that money is the answer.
It's just to throw money at it.
You can't just throw money. And we say this all the time. You can't just throw money at it and something happens. It doesn't work that way.
Well, I think they made a great game. It's a great RPG, but in the long run, it tanked everybody that was involved in it.
Yeah,
it's unfortunate.
Yeah, you can throw money at me.
I know, right?
Yeah, throw money at me. Yes,
I'm currently seeking investors. So
seeking investors for podcast,
living,
and living,
for just breathing.
I could use a new house. So that leads me to our next thing, and I don't know if you guys caught this, but Michael Dowse, I think is his name. He's the director of publishing for Larian Studios, the guys that made Baldur's Gate 3. And with this huge thing with Ubisoft getting sued, delaying their games, having their investors mad, he came out and had a comment about what their director of publisher said. And on Twitter, he says, let me go to the actual statement here. This is not all of it. Well, this is the gist of it. Gamers should get used to not owning their games. Does that sound familiar? That was the guy from Ubisoft said that. Now, in context, what he was talking about is that everything's going to go subscription, and you're not going to own your games. You don't own your games anyway, but they want to really push their subscription service. So he said, if the statement gamers should get used to not owning their games is true because of a specific release strategy, theirs, then the statement developers must get used to not having jobs if they make a critically acclaimed game. Is also true, and that just isn't sensible even from a business standpoint. So I think that's interesting for him. He's kind of calling them out on, if all of these, if Ubisoft, EA, Microsoft, Sony, all of these people are going to rely on these subscription services, then at some point, your games, you're not going to have the money to make AAA games. It's not going to be viable to make these larger games. And thus, if you don't make the games, these giant, God of Wars and stuff, for these subscription services, then you're going to lose subscriptions. And it's just not a good business strategy. And I agree with that. Having Game Pass, I think Game Pass is, I don't think if everybody has their own Game Pass, then it's just like streaming services now.
Oh yeah, I know what that means. Like, you don't want everyone to have it because that would just completely done
Right.
with
It's like, hey, you got to watch this show. Okay, what's it on? This streaming service you don't have. I'm like, no,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
already
yeah.
paying for this one, and this one. That's where
Yeah.
we're going to run to. And honestly, if
Yeah.
you have 3 of them now, you're paying as much as you were for cable. And that was the whole thing. That was the whole point of these streaming services. Like, oh my God, I can pay Netflix, like $7 a month to watch whatever they have, and fuck Comcast. That $80 a month bill just goes away.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
it works, and everybody's been doing that for years.
Yeah, now it's kind of sort of come full circle. It's like,
Well, Game Pass is
or-
now $20, right?
Yeah.
Ubisoft is $16.99, I think, or
Yeah.
or $17.99, $18. EA is about $18. So if you have all 3 of those, that's
Yeah. I mean, if you have Game Pass Ultimate, which is 20, I think that's $20 a month. That comes with EA anyway.
well, no. It comes with EA
okay.
Play. It does
Yeah,
not come
yeah.
with their premium, which you get first, day one
Yeah,
titles.
Yeah, the pro one. Yeah, but,
Right.
I mean, you still
You
get
could get
EA
the
Play,
old stuff,
so,
but
yeah,
Yeah.
which I find is enough, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, they come to the service pretty quickly, but I still think Game Pass is worth it right now.
Well, right. I mean, if you
If-
have one, but then again, this is what we would be talking about Netflix, about
yeah,
10 years ago.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, well, it's Netflix I'm good with just Netflix.
yeah,
Right.
What 10 years from now, are we even going to be able to buy games? That's what he's saying. That's what
Yeah,
Ubisoft
yeah.
is saying, and that's what this guy's saying is no, you can't do that.
no.
So, and I agree with them. I don't
Yeah.
think that that's where gaming should be. I think one service, like having a Game Pass type service, is fine as an option. But
Right.
once Game Pass has, and they've said that they're probably going to do this at one point, they're going to release games that you can only play if you have Game Pass.
I really doubt it. I really doubt.
You think
we'll
that might
actually
have
get to
changed?
point.
They might have changed that strategy, but they have said that
Yeah,
that's going to be, they're going to have exclusive content on that.
Because, I mean, you can have exclusive content and exclusive perks. They do that, which is really good. Because, like, for example, you had Persona 3. That was on Game Pass. And they gave you the season pass for free
Yeah.
if you have Game Pass. So you get these Game Pass perks.
But you could still buy that game if you
Yeah, you
get
can
one
still
game.
buy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because obviously it's going to go off Game Pass at some point as well. So,
Right.
every game doesn't last forever.
Well, right, but what about, say, the next Halo is only on Game Pass? You can't purchase it.
No.
You have to pay for Game Pass.
No, because that would also get in the way of the multi-platform strategy, for one thing, because not everything has Game Pass. People want to play on Steam, and they release on Steam, so that whole thing only on Game Pass, you can only play it through Game Pass.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't see that happening at all.
Well, think about this. Let me throw this one at you. After 10 years and the contracts for Call of Duty are over, 9 years now, what if Call of Duty is only on Game Pass? It doesn't have to be a multi-plat if they have it only on Game Pass.
I'm wondering. Didn't they do something? I was just gonna say, didn't they do something like this with Xbox Live? There was a point where like you couldn't play any game, certain games or any game unless you had an Xbox Live subscription. I remember at one point.
It's multiplayer. It's any game multiplayer.
Right, but I remember at one point, and I guess I'm going back in time here, but
Yeah.
like we had Xbox and
Right.
we bought a game and we played it. We had the CD and we put it in.
Right.
And then they came out with Xbox Live. And then we were playing games on CD. And then there was like, we added the multiplayer. And I feel like at some point, through the progression of Xbox, it became like you need an Xbox Live subscription to play any of the new games. Like you have to. Like there's no way around it.
From its inception in 2002, you had to have Xbox Live to play anything multiplayer. You had to have Xbox Live account to play multiplayer anything.
But now it's you need it to be hooked up. Like all games need to be hooked up to the internet. to
Right,
some
but
capacity.
not all games are multiplayer.
No.
Right.
Right.
No, that's fine. But the vast majority, in my opinion, are where you need to be sort of hooked up to the internet. I guess what I'm saying is that like it's I don't know. I guess gamers have a difficulty having some foresight in seeing that
Yes, they do.
Well, like the gaming industry is gonna kind of like do this sort of like very slow swim upstream to the
Yeah.
thing
Oh
that
yeah.
that
Yeah.
they want to do, and it's gonna be so slow that the average gamer doesn't really remember what happened before,
Yeah, it's like
and
what is it,
and then they're
the
gonna go.
frog in
It's
the
always
hot
been like
water?
this. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's always been like this. I mean, what do you mean? It has? Yeah, I guess it has, but
Yeah.
has it?
I mean, I, will-
And
I will say, like, example, like, if you bought Call of Duty,
Mhm.
you don't need a subscription to play zombies, to play multiplayer with bots, or to play campaign. Obviously, to play online, you need it.
You need to be
But-
online to play the campaign, though.
Yeah, but you need to be online. It's an always online game.
Yep.
That's the thing.
yeah,
So you sort of are still have to be online to even play it. And that's, I think, the problem with games right now.
Yeah, and don't you find that funny though that like in 2013 when Xbox One came out, and it's like online all the time,
yeah.
and everybody was like, "Man,
Everybody
fuck you,
really-
you piece of shit,
yeah.
God, do-" and then now it's like, oh, it's just the
Yeah.
norm. It's nobody
Yeah,
even
yeah,
bats
exactly.
an eye,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying about Game Pass. Like I feel like if they start making exclusives for Game Pass,
Mm-hmm.
there's gonna be a point where they make one and then they make
Yeah, where does it end? Right.
There's gonna be a point where we're just gonna be like, well, that's how it is, And it's like,
Yeah.
well, and no, like
Yeah.
stop it
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
I think.
Foresight.
I think the problem there is Game Pass hasn't got enough subscribers yet.
Right. I
They
think
would
they have a
need-
peak. They
that-
have a number. Like when it hits
Yeah.
this number, that's when they're going to start,
Yeah.
okay,
They
well,
would. They would need a substantial amount more because
Yeah.
I think they've got about roughly 30 million subscribers. Which.
well, after
I
this
think-
weekend, they might have a few more.
Yeah, but how long is that lasting? Like, do people just want to play a month and unsubscribe? So, I mean, long-lasting subscriptions, I think they would need at least like double that to really push Game Pass. To
Well,
a
they need
different territory.
games for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
I mean, they need a steady flow of games that are coming out that are going to make
Yeah.
people want
Yeah.
to subscribe to that, and they still haven't produced it.
Yeah.
It's just not.
I mean, hopefully
feasible.
hopefully this is a start.
Well,
Everyone on Black Ops, then it'll be Flight Sim, then Stalker, then Indiana Jones,
yeah.
then
Well, you know what,
Val next year. So
I'll say I don't really mind, and I only really say that for this one reason, and that is if I can have a Game Pass subscription and I can play all the games I want and I don't have to have an Xbox, I'm okay with that. Because the fact that I have to have all these subscriptions and then also buy an Xbox is fucking
Yeah.
annoying. In my
Well, yeah. I mean, consoles have gotten to the point where they're not really. They're
they got
almost
to the point too. What's the point?
exactly. They're almost like a scam. It's
Right.
like you're paying for the upfront, the affordability and the portability of something that you're paying monthly just to play it.
Right.
And if you say that, and if you look at it that way, it's like, oh god dang, you're. I mean, I think of like all the. I feel stupid for how much money I've spent over the years just to play multiplayer games that before on PC I was playing for free.
Right.
When did I get used to that? When was that? I don't even remember. I don't even remember when it was I think probably
Yeah.
at the point where it's like, hey, you don't have to pay yearly anymore. Just have it come out of your card, every month. I'm like, yeah, that I don't have to worry about it then. Click, and then guess what? 10 years later, how much money have you spent for that?
yeah, because also like if you pay for it monthly, it's a lot easier than saying, oh, spend $120 a year.
Right.
And you got a yearly bill. It's like, ugh. But
Yeah.
you spend monthly, it's like, oh, only $6 or $7 or whatever
Yeah,
it is.
and this
and you feel better. Yeah.
it doesn't stop there either. When we get used to that, I'm seeing more and more things like just making content for YouTube and stuff like this. You go and it's like, hey, well, here's an app. Oh, here's an app that I can make thumbnails with very poorly, as you can see. Okay. Oh, well, I can't buy it. You can't purchase it. It is $7 a month to use this, to use software. $7 a month. Well, then, okay, well, let me try this one. Oh, that one's $12 a month. You can't buy any of them. You have to pay monthly. And a lot of those things are just, it's just, I mean, it makes me think it's like, oh, well, that's not software. That's just something that they can get you into. If they get you a month and then you forget about it and you get 2 or 3 months out of you, then they made their money on something that's shitty and you probably use once and like, I don't want to use this again. More and more things are like that. There's subscriptions are getting to be a little out of hand, and I don't think that they're a bad thing. But if you went to say a software and it's like, oh, you can buy this for $25 or you can rent it for $7. It's like, oh, I only need to use it for a month. I'm going to pay $7. If I'm going to use this every single day, I can pay $25.
Yeah.
You know. And they do give you an option of like a year, but it's overpriced. And if you don't use it, then you've wasted your money.
Yeah. So I think, people really need to be smart with their money more now.
Yeah, start thinking about what you're paying for and what you're getting for that. Game Pass is still a viable option, but when is it not?
Yeah, like how much? Because people say, oh, I don't like Game Pass, it isn't worth anything. It's not worth it for you because you aren't playing.
You obviously don't like video games.
No, but like if you're the type of person to play 1 or 2 games, it's probably not worth it.
No.
Just buy the game you want and play that.
Yeah.
If you want like 20, 30 games to try and play, go for it. So it all depends on the person.
Yeah.
Because I see like arguments on Twitter. Oh, look, you pay $20 a month just to play Call of Duty. Like, no, I'm paying $20 a month to have it on my PC, my Xbox, and 500 games. That's what I've got it for.
Yeah, and I'm also playing Diablo 4 and Halo Infinite and all these other games.
There's a lot of like only Call of Duty players will probably get Game Pass, but they just buy it. Just buy Call of Duty.
I mean,
if you're that player. Yeah.
There's a misconception too that I see a lot on Twitter that's like, especially with Call of Duty, it's like, oh, it's on Call of Duty, so you got, you guys don't own your game. It's like, you can still buy the game on Xbox. Exactly. You can still buy it on PC. It doesn't. It's not exclusive to Game Pass yet. But
that's why I think like there won't be a exclusive to Game Pass. They would have to have like 100 million subscribers if it came to that.
There will be Xbox exclusives. Guarantee it. Mark my words. There will be Xbox exclusive games. Now, are those going to be their big AAA titles or smaller titles? I don't know. I mean that depends on what gaming looks like 2 or 3 years from now. But
they bought Bethesda for a reason.
They did. Yeah, they didn't buy them to give them free coffee.
But I have some friends who are like really sort of like they like games, but they're kind of cheap and they don't want to buy an Xbox. And a lot of times I'm like, just get Game Pass, and you can, stream it on your computer.
Later. You don't have phones?
Yeah. You guys are on phones? You guys are on PCs?
All right.
Yeah, and then I call them up. I'm like, dude, you got to play this game with me. It's cool. And it's like, is it on Game Pass? Because I have Game Pass.
Yeah.
So and I was like, cool, just load it up. We can play it. So they're definitely tapping into that's their way of tapping into another market. People
definitely
buy the console.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean.
Or even if people don't have the console, but they don't want to buy every single game. Like, oh look, there's a lot of games just there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
They have a lot of good games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I don't know anybody that's bought an Xbox, like their first Xbox, and got Game Pass with it, and went, "What a bunch of garbage." You know what I mean? It's like, you mean like I just bought this console, and I have how many games I can play right now? Like it's just it's baffling. Like almost 300, I think they're up to on Game Pass.
I think it's like 500 actually.
I mean, and that's including all the Halos, all the Gears, all the Forzas, Flight Simulator. I mean, it is. It's hard to deny. Yeah.
All of Bethesda's library.
Yep.
I bought a Game Pass for my nephew for Christmas once, and like, I'm going on like 5 years now of like paying for his Game Pass, because he just Uncle David, I love it. Can you just please? I'm like, all right, fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then the wife is like, "What's this? 2 Game Pass subscriptions? What's going on?"
Are you
Honey,
Game Passing out on me? What's her name? Yeah, I did
But yeah,
that.
it's that good, It's that
Yeah,
good.
well, I did that for my dad. My dad's 75, and he loves video games, and
Oh,
and
Dad.
he dusted off his Xbox, and I'm like, and for Christmas I got him a year of Game Pass, and
Nice.
he played a bunch of stuff and found that he really likes Farming Simulator. So it's like,
that's cool.
so now, but he's okay, and this is another aspect. Is like, well, do you want me to renew it for another year? He goes, no, I think I'll just buy the. He said, I gotten to where the only thing I play is Farming Simulator, so that I'm just going to buy that game.
Yeah,
and that makes sense. So, but by having that Game Pass, he found something he likes, and that's like the best case scenario. But I was kind of talking about how possibly evil Game Pass is, and we ended up talking about how fucking great it is. It's so that's such a divisive conversation,
Yeah.
But at the same time, and I'm not to be contradictory, but Dragonvale comes out on Thursday. I'm not purchasing that game. I will pay $16.99 on EA Premier, and I'll try it out, and I'll see, if it's something I like. If I do like that game, if I end up liking it, do you buy it? And that's another question. So you've already spent the $16.99. If you purchase it, are you getting $16.99 off of that game? You do get a discount, but not quite. So you do end up like, oh, I love this game, I'm going to buy it.
Well, I mean, if at the same time with a game like that, I think it's going to be shorter, so you could play it in a month.
Yeah, you probably could, but I don't. I play a lot of stuff. I don't typically play a game just
solely,
play that only game all the way through.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So on PC it's $59.99, and if you have EA Pro, it is $53.99. So it doesn't really. Yeah, it doesn't really take care of the cost of that $16.99, but
that's like tax right there.
Yeah.
Well, I think the reviews are going to go out tomorrow, so we'll see what the people think. But.
And one thing on that too, I love PC gaming. I love PC gaming on my PC. I absolutely love it. But if you want to play say Dead Space 2 that you bought on Steam for just instance, and you click on it and it doesn't play. And you notice in the background that the EA app just popped up and said, "Hey, there's Dead Space 2, and it's now in your EA app. Click here to play."
Yeah.
Why the fuck did I bother buying it on Steam?
Yeah. No, that's one sort of slight downfall of PC gaming. I've seen as well. Every
Ghost
single
Recon
goddamn launcher.
Yeah,
just leave me alone.
Just let me play it on the platform I bought it on. God damn. Yeah. Ubisoft does the same thing. I bought Ghost Recon. Click. Oh, hey, sign into your Ubisoft app so you can go in and play it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Gotcha. They gotcha.
I know they got me. So that's what I'm saying. It's we just need to be careful and not get caught up in all of that.
Yeah.
So moving on, just to push the show along a little bit, I just wanted to make everyone aware. I did stream the other day, or yesterday. I did a stream for a couple hours. I did Halo 2 Anniversary. Why? Because it's the Halo 2 anniversary. 2024. So November 9th, which is next week. I haven't seen anything from Microsoft, anything from anybody on the Xbox. You, David, you were there. Liam, you were in diapers. When Halo 2 hit, man, it was a meteorite of entertainment. It was the fastest selling piece of entertainment ever. It was giant. Times Square was shut down to launch this game. It was good. Yeah. The multiplayer is still good. it was I mean, Tom Brokaw was talking about it, you know, Jimmy Kimmel. I mean, everybody was talking about it. It was huge. And I told you the story of, you know, when I worked at Costco, but I'm just really disappointed that no one from the people that own this franchise has acknowledged that at any form. And I'm sure they'll probably put out a tweet or something. Hey, 20 years ago today, you know, Halo 2, congrats or whatever. That is really a shame. That Xbox has really just forgotten where they've come from. Also that launched 20 years ago this year. Half-Life 2. Half-Life 2 came out 20 years ago. Also next month. I think it came out on the 15th or something.
Now I feel old.
I know. I remember being at, when I worked at Costco, we had Half-Life 2 as well. And I was like, here's this giant, huge vat of Halo 2. And then it's like, we just got like a normal box of Half-Life 2. And I'm like, seriously? Like, really?
How dare you?
Like what? Yeah, and I mean, it didn't sell out. It didn't. I mean, of course, it went on to be, objectively one of the best games ever made.
What if I buy this? What if I just buy this Half-Life 2 right now? He's like, you could keep your job. What if I buy this Halo 2? Oh, you get fired.
Oh, you get fired immediately. Right, exactly. No, and of course, the day it came out, right before I left, I grabbed the intercom. I said, hello? Half-Life 2 is in the store right now. What is wrong with you? Why is no one buying Half-Life 2? I did not do that, but I wanted to. Again, it went on to sell a lot and everything, but it just, kind of showed that at that time, no one was talking about Half-Life 2. It wasn't on the news. It wasn't, nobody talked about it. Halo 2 was everywhere, man. It was on every Mountain Dew bottle. It was in every fucking taco you bought at Taco Bell. It was everywhere. They did a just bang up job of marketing this thing. It had its own like augmented reality I Love Bees secret thing going on too. It was amazing.
Well, whoever marketed that can get they'll get hired from Microsoft now, because Microsoft don't know how to market.
Yeah, I mean, it just how about how about just like a little documentary? Like, talk some people at Bungie that actually worked on it or something. Anything. Just fucking anything. Yeah. Whatever. But anyway, happy birthday to Halo 2 and Half-Life 2. Two absolutely incredible games that actually redefined how we play games today. If anybody doesn't know that. And also, I have I have tinfoil inside of this mask. So the Avowed delay, we talked about that a couple of weeks ago. They delayed. It was going to be on the same day as Ubisoft's Assassin's Creed, or the same week. Yeah. So they moved it to February, which of course, Assassin's Creed February. I don't think that. I think the delay is to incorporate a 60 FPS mode.
Maybe.
What do you think?
You do have tinfoil in there.
Yeah, there's a little tinfoil in there.
That's right. So anyway, if that comes out and they're like, oh, it's launching. Oh, guess what? It's a 60 FPS mode. You're welcome.
That would be a good thing.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Cool.
You can thank Graybeard Gaming.
That's right. We'll break the story.
Yeah.
That's a little shire. You can keep it up. Maybe one day you'll be as good as us, getting the scoop, pulling it right out of my ass.
I just hope that's like a finished game, and I'm tired of like half-baked games and modes that 3 months later. So make a good game. Please.
Yeah, I'm just going by the studio. This is a lot of the same guys that made Outer Worlds, which came out like 5 years ago this month. And that game, I really liked that game, but it was also complete, finished, relatively bug-free. It was in a really good state. If you haven't played it, go play it. If you liked Starfield but didn't like all the jankiness, go play this. It's objectively a better game.
It's not multiplayer.
It's not multiplayer, no. It's only single player. Right. It looks absolutely amazing on PC. I know I keep saying that, but there's just some issues with it on Xbox that I wasn't really keen on. Some of the textures just don't look quite right, but maybe they fixed that. I don't know. So yeah, and then Thursday is Halloween, and it's the mask. I don't know why you guys didn't even make an attempt to.
Well, when I go out, people scream anyway, so
God damn.
Shots fired.
He's down from the bell tower.
Friendly fire.
I have a lot of the guys that came over to play Call it. Well, they didn't come over for Call of Duty, but they came.
Right.
They came over to see the show, and they all got wasted at my show, and then they're all crashing in my RV, and that's where I have all the masks. So I was like, I'm not gonna go in there and bother them.
I got you.
I'll just.
Well, it's early too. It's probably a little too early. I'm ready to get this thing off. It weighs. It's like a cheap $7 mask.
It looks pretty good.
Yeah, it looks good. I look like old man
Batman. Michael
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they did a Batman series where he was like gruff and had like a bunch of stubble, and it's like.
Yeah, I think that's like Dark Knight Returns.
Yeah.
This old man Batman sort of thing.
Yeah. I'm Batman. Who'd you vote for? So I guess that's it for our show this week. We'll kind of keep our eye on this stuff, and I'm kind of pulling for maybe something Halo 2 ish.
Yeah.
I don't care what it is, just acknowledgement. Yeah. But if not, next week I will come up with something. I'll come up with some little trivia stuff that maybe people didn't know about Halo 2, and not that.
Whoa, it's the ice cream truck.
Is that an ice cream truck?
What time is it by you?
Good. Whoa, how long have we been podcasting? What is it?
You live by a school? What's going on?
I don't know.
It's this ice cream truck.
Is it? Is that what it is?
Yeah, it is. Genuine ice cream truck that just goes around, and every day it just comes around here.
Wow. Well, go get you some ice cream.
Yeah, go get you some ice cream.
Yeah, go get some ice cream.
All right. Okay, so we're out of here. You guys have a great week. Happy Halloween and all that good stuff. There's our extra music.
Yeah.
That's outro music.
Outro music. There you go. See you later.
Bye.
All right.